Good morning, folks. Welcome to Cancer Healing Vlogs. So right now I'm beginning my day with work and woke up at 6:30 and managing when got my basic routines done, and now starting the day. What I'm looking towards is I also ended up having fixing the call that I had, the meeting that I had with one of the Metropolis sales head, Mr. Kunalji. Uh, so I will be meeting him at 11:30, and so have my breakfast and push off for that as well. Another meeting I have at 2 o'clock with with one of the phlebotomists who has said that he'll work for 4 hours at 10,000, and I figured that okay, that's not that bad a bargain, and I'll have an interview with him and see if he's good, and then we can get started. Then he can reach out to individual places in Nerul and for the Belapur lab, and in Nerul he will target different societies for the camp. The pamphlets for the camp are almost ready, so then once I hire this person, then I can get this or whoever is the right person, then I can get started with the setting up camps in Nerul. Then the other thing is that I'm also looking towards the lab in Kamote and getting their camp started. And for them, I was thinking of hiring a salesperson, a PRO, but that person didn't show up, so I may call a few more people for that. That hiring will be shared with me and Yevlaji, and we'll be kind of investing in this to see if it's possible to get good business out of a salesperson who's got some experience in reaching out to people, as opposed to hiring a phlebotomist to reach out and get some camps set up. Both should work, but let's see. It's a good experiment, also observation for us as well. With Metropolis, my intention is basically to get the same thing started. I will get the technicians to be bringing business to the lab, and I will be sharing 50% of the profits that will be the commission earned. That's at least what I propose. Let's see, once I discuss with Metropolis what will be the their proposal and what is acceptable to them and what would be the best way to go about it. So yeah, let's hope for the best and let's work towards it. Cheers. So the meeting was postponed by some time, and then again further postponed because the sales head, Kunalji, he has been delayed with traffic as he's getting there. So I, in the meantime, was like just wrapping up whatever the house work that would needed to be done, including the internet connection which I'm trying to get. So that is also happening today. Once that happens, then at least I'll be able to upload faster and actually begin the uploading process with more ease. Anyway, so that's where we are, and in some probably another 5-10 minutes I'll be heading off and meeting Kunalji for the Metropolis business possibility, where we can expand the Metropolis business as well. All right. Okay, so finally got the call from the Metropolis salesperson. There was like literally a delay of 2 hours. Now heading in that direction, and we'll update you from there. Okay, so I'm at the Metropolis, like the office in Kharghar, and right now with Kunalji and sorry, Ashish. So we had this like a proper discussion about what can be done for helping expand the camps for Metropolis. And we had a proper discussion, and a lot of things about detail में एक चीज बताने बैठो तो it will take quite a while, but essentially just to get some people to reach out to more and more societies and get more and more amount of business for camps. So that's what it is, and let's see, it's one step at a time, so we're working towards it. So that was a nice meet. That was a good meet. Got to understand what is the perspectives from the Metropolis point of view, how we can help them as a brand, and more importantly, the fact that they are their intention is to provide that value to the individual, the public that they reach out to. So there is a certain level that we need to ensure that okay, it's done in an organized way, because first of all, there will be they already have a team which is working towards the promotion. So how we can integrate that in a way which is actually effective for everyone. So I've been working on that idea, and now what I have to do is I have to get the technicians and the people concerned to help increase, like get some leads. If I can get that to happen, then I think that will lead to some further amount of business that can be created as a result of this. What exact way in which we can do this is that, okay, so now the what was discussed was that, okay, if the say whether it's a phlebotomist or whether it's even the person who would be willing to reach out to the societies, and we get a certain agreement that, okay, these are the societies which are agreeing to allow a camp, and say a certain amount of business happens from there, then a certain percentage would be, of the revenue generated could be passed on to us, which I could divide with the person who is helping me bring the lead. So this is the agreement that I've been able to help create right now with Metropolis, so that this way, as being the pathologist here and having that the factor of being able to provide that value, not just as a pathologist but as a person who would be wanting to expand a pathology business, that would be perfect. And I'm looking towards making this happen. So let's work towards it and see what we can create. So I was working out like a bit of a brainstorm on what needs to be done further ahead from here on. So definitely in the evening I'm going to discuss at my center and with our senior sir who is concerned with this, and get this thing sorted out, that okay, this is the form of business that we can create. But more importantly, of course, I can there are I need to create the ensure that there's a workforce that is going to be constantly bringing in the business for being able to even pull off such a thing. Of course, I could put in my own efforts too, but there is this thing that, okay, the Belapur lab, which I had committed to, that I will be putting in good amount of time, I will continue giving it the attention that it needs, and in fact even hire a phlebotomist and a sales rep for it, and see if I can bring in that kind of business, including my own effort. I could reach out to whatever corporates, including go to societies too, and just get that exposure of how I can bring that expansion of their business, and that effort I can do simultaneous to supporting with Metropolis. And if there's any other lab also that down the line I could bring value to, I can always work towards it. So this is the basic thing that's going in my mind, and yeah, there's pretty much nothing else to share. Now the next thing pretty much is to just reach out to as many phlebotomists. Oh, by the way, the phlebotomist who was supposed to meet today has just not responded, just like pretty much yesterday's PRO person. So this also happens a lot, where the person is like very non-committal, but I have to mentally prepare myself for such situations so that I can not be like basically just mentally be ready for it, so that you can maximize on your ability to deal with such challenges that show up. And that's perfect, it's just part of the working process. And okay, so that's it. Now I think I'll just get on with making calls and reaching out to more and more people who would be the potential phlebotomist for the Nerul center, and also the potential sales rep for the Nerul area, for ultimately for the Belapur lab. So I did a little bit more meditation on what exactly is my challenge that I'm facing as far as promoting the Belapur lab and getting phlebotomist and effectively doing this. I think the challenge, I simplified it down to the simple core, that basically I just need to work on reaching out to as many phlebotomists, as many PROs, because if right now it's not easy to find one, then I need to put in more effort. I need to reach out to more. I need to find the right deal, the right way for it to work. Just give my effort towards that, and then as soon as that is done, then I can put in also my time and dedication towards going myself out and reaching out to more clients and getting as many. It's as simple as that. It's just the donkey work of doing it. But that's what brings in the business, the work, the value. You may call it donkey work, but it's actually value providing, you know. So you may, or as in I am calling it, but the point is that if at least I've simplified it down for myself now. This is it. Just make the calls, reach out to people, get find the right transaction, move on. Da da da. Just don't use your head beyond that. There's no need. You know, just take the actions, go through the motions of it. All right, so I'll get on to it. So I made a bunch of calls to different phlebotomists that I had in my contact, that I was able to reach out to in this time frame of the next about the past half an hour. And in that, what I noticed was that, you know, there is a certain threshold that makes the deal sweet enough for them to be interested and genuinely follow up. I guess that's the concept of commerce, right? Like, where if your deal is sweet enough, people will be nicest enough, and if your deal is not sweet enough, people will be equally cold and they will disappear, vanish. so that's where you know, I am looking at, okay, I'm when you just make calls upon calls, what you realize is that, okay, you, after a certain number of calls and a certain number of results that you see, you start understanding that what is the deal, what is a sweet enough number, like with a certain amount of data, you know, okay, this kind of salary for this much time, for this much quality of work is sweet enough, or is very sweet, is too sweet. If it's too sweet, that means they are like, you gotta lower the threshold for yourself because you're putting yourself in an unnecessary loss. But if it's sweet, just about sweet enough to want them to be interested, that's how you understand, you know. Otherwise, how do you know what's the right salary, what's the right kind of incentive? You know, you don't know. So that's how you discover it, with enough data. so that's what I've been experimenting, and I realized that, okay, fine, you know, maybe for a phlebotomist, if I'm hiring for 10,000, and you know, when I said 5 hours, so this is an example of what I'm talking about. So when I told them 5 hours, they're like, interesting, okay, I'll let you know. Then when I said, then one of them said, sir, make it 4 hours. I said, okay, let's consider that also. But then again, that person didn't turn up. So maybe money is not the only answer, of course, but sometimes that makes a lot of difference. Then I made a couple of calls with the same thing. They're like, yeah, we'll let you know. Then with one person that I said 3 hours and 10,000. So when I reduced it even by 1 more hour, of course, it's a loss to me, but I have to find the right, or I can increase the salary. So to find that right balance, then I tried, okay, 3 hours, and that person showed a lot of interest, although she could not make it in the next couple of days. So I may have to look at someone else in the meantime, because time is of the essence and I cannot just wait for like the next 5-6 days and just let it slide. But the interest automatically grew. So obviously this kind of measurement, I mean, this is just in hiring, but I'm talking, I guess this thing applies to literally every deal. You have to find that sweet spot where the person is like, okay, you know what, it's a no-brainer, let's go for you, but it should be sweet enough, you know. So that's a lesson, I guess, observed today. Yeah, now I guess I'll wrap up for the day, it seems. I may, of course, have to speak with some of the people at Metropolis today, like where I'm working as well. So I can try and see if something can be created, some sort of revenue stream can be created there today. I'll work towards that. And if there's some sort of input that can be workable, I may not be able to record in the lab, because being the workplace, you know, it kind of may not be suitable. Maybe outside the lab, if it makes sense, I could do some of these recording. Maybe I can just step out and say, okay, this is what happened, da da da. That might be one way of communicating with you what's going on there on that front as well. Yeah, so I'll just update you on that front, and if there's anything else that shows up in the next couple of hours, I'll keep you posted, or else I'll just come and say wave off goodbye. All right, cheers. For the day, and now basically heading home. Spoke with the the technicians and all, who I was thinking that, okay, we can get some work done for Metropolis. They seem a little bit not very optimistic about it. By the way, I'm in the car and you may not like really see me very clearly. I'll try and be in the light as much as possible, but yeah. So anyways, they didn't seem very optimistic, but especially because Metropolis is going through a bit of a very you can say a patch where they have to now deal with, on one hand, the IT and all those things. So you can say their mind is pretty much preoccupied with all this. So we will wait for a week or so, and then when this thing resolves, and then we can pick it up again. Right, and that's pretty much the effort for the day. And now I'll start over. By the way, the weekend is there. Over the weekend I don't intend on pretty much doing any work as such, so I'll probably share some other format of the vlogs. So alright, cool. Save air, liberate self. See you tomorrow, and like and subscribe. Yeah. Cheers. Darkness. Enjoy.